I can fix your raccoon problem for you. All I need is a measuring tape and a drain pipe.
Check, check, check. Oh, hey everyone. Welcome, Michael Flanagan, my great friend. How are you? Simon Morgan Drake, Tyler Orod, NC Rajaki, Red Hand, Gigi Moose, Jonas, Thang, Sailor, AJ, Joel, all y'all. How are you? Yeah, Godell did die of starvation. He lost his mind towards the end of his life. I think Tesla did as well, right? Not an uncommon thing, I suppose. I don't talk to Drake, no. I'm kind of sick of celebrities, to be honest. I spent 8 hours in a deposition today. Is there an echo? Echo. I wonder why. Let's see. Yeah, so what? I'm a scrawny weakling. So what? I might start lifting. I don't know. I'm gonna lift this cat though. You see Nibbles? What are you doing, Nibbles? What are you doing? The people they wanna be entertained. You're just sitting there sleeping. What is that? Is that even a cat? I can't even tell. Um, 10,000 rule. 10,000 hours. Bitcoin is worthless than a can of tuna. Bitcoin's about $28,000 at the moment, so I don't know too many tuna cans worth that much. No, I didn't go the Lil Wayne route. I did lose my patience for one or two questions, but I did pretty well, I think. Nibbles. Why don't you live in a mansion? How do you know what this apartment is like? Do you know anything about this apartment? You don't like it? I live in a city called New York City. Don't ever fucking come at me like that again. Ever. I got some bad haircuts in prison. I'll do a stream from the living room someday. Would that be fun? I can't take the monitor with me right now, but that would be fun, I think. I've always been a little pale. Sorry. Opinions on the Talmud. I'm sure there's a lot of wisdom in there, but I haven't read it. Oh, what's up, everyone? 143 people. I'm so happy you're here. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. Every time somebody shows up to watch, and I feel like I owe the very best I have in the form of entertainment. So thank you for your birthday wishes as well. I got all your lovely birthday wishes. Really lucky for that. When you got arrested, did they take all your money? No. What do you think the Fed will do this week? Shit, they better do something good. Rap for me, all right, no problem. Look, check me out. Listen, I don't want to rap because the cat's asleep. I don't want to wake her up. Can't do it. I'm sorry. Next time. Well, Lee Gibbs, thank you so much for subscribing. I love it. You love to see it. Cat nap. I do live by myself, unless you count this beautiful lady. Oh, she woke up. Her ears are perked up. Cat daddy. I've always been a cat daddy. I love animals in general. And once I have kids, you're going to see how crazy I am about that. If you think I love this cat, wait till I have some kids. It's gonna be lit. Where's your wife? In Albania we could say nuse. It's N-U-S-E. Nuse. That means wife in Albanian. So yes, I'm looking for my nuse. Maybe she's out there. Maybe she's not. We'll see. Zaddy. Am I gonna have an Asian wife? I think. I never say never, but I think the odds are low. Grow your stash, bro. I don't think so. How much time do you think Carolyn will get? 5 years. She should probably get a lot more, but shit. After IB, should I do PE or hedge funds? Yeah, it depends. Want me to take the IQ test? Oh, snap. There's a new IQ test that's like open. Maybe we should do that. That'll be fun. You guys want to see how smart I really am, huh? Real fucking smart, okay? All right. You know, it's funny because the smartest people don't necessarily do the best financially. I'm not saying I'd rather be smart than rich. Thankfully, I don't have to make that decision. All right. Enough of that. Let's see, wasn't there like open psychometrics or something like that?
Yep.
Cool. All right, don't give me any hints. Which one is it? Apparently this test isn't accurate, by the way. So.
It's sort of. FS, it's got an acronym.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the real one, so I can tell you how accurate it is. I don't even know which one it is. Vocabulary IQ test? Okay, I'll do that real quick. I'm pretty good at that. Let's go. Let me, should I tweet this? Should I tweet that I'm doing this? I think I should.
Yeah.
And I should also do some ChatGPT shit later. Yeah, let me see. I don't have too many Twitter followers, but the 3 or 4 I have, may care. Who knows? Devil may care. Richard Feynman, Can Machines Think? It's one of my favorite poems. Turing Lies with Man. There's a little limerick he wrote. He said, Turing believes machines think. Turing lies with men, therefore machines do not think. And it's a take on old Socrates syllogism. But the double meaning is that Turing lies with men, which he literally lied with men, being gay. So the idea was, all Cretans lie was the old Socrates syllogism. So therefore, okay, where's my shtick? All right, I think that's it. Now I have to find a way to paste it to Twitter.
If anybody else wants to take the test alongside Martin, you can go to the psychology chat under arts and science. I just put the link to it in there.
Thank you. All right, streaming IQ tests and AI. Maybe my billionaire homies will watch. I think I have the most billionaires following me on Twitter as a ratio of like the amount of Twitter followers I have. I have how many do I have? Let's see, 840. Not very popular at the moment. All right. I kind of want to see what this Feynman thing was.
Artificial Intelligence from a lecture by Richard Feynman from September 20.
First of all, do you think like human beings? I would say no, and I'll explain in a minute why. I say
Feynman was the GOAT. All right, let's see. 45 questions. Let's read this. Vocabulary IQ test. This is an interactive vocabulary test that gives results in the form of an IQ score. IQ is a way of reporting cognitive ability test scores. IQ tests. Oh, here's the full scale. We'll do the full scale next. But in the meantime, we'll do this one. 45 questions, 5 words, asked to select two that have the same meaning. You get penalized for wrong words. Jordan? You there, Jordan? Jordan, you might want to mute your mic. All right, Jordan. Thank you. All right, so you get penalized for wrong answers, but we don't know if there's a timer. So, and I just want to make the excuse that I've been in a deposition all day. So this, who knows? We'll see. Again, I know my actual IQ score, so I don't need to. All right, doesn't look like there's a timer, so that's good. All right, tiny, faded, new, large, and big. I think large and big are pretty similar. Shovel and spade are pretty similar. Not a needle, an oak, and a club. Shovel and spade are the same thing, I think. All right, walk, rob, juggle, steal, and discover. I think rob and steal. All right, finish, embellish, cap, squeak, and talk. Finish and cap. Cap is a verb, means to finish. But, maybe I'll go back and look at that one. It's a little weird. Recall and remember are the same thing. Implore, fancy, beg, recant, and answer. This is actually kind of hard. Implore means to to beg, basically. Okay, so I'll go with beg. Pretty sure fancy is an adjective. Recant is to take something back. Answers, none of those. All right. Deal, claim, plea, recoup, and sale. Well, sale and a deal kind of are pretty similar. To recoup is to get back to a prior position. To plea is to sort of beg. Claim as a verb is to assert your ownership of something, but claim as a noun is a bit different. Well, it's the state of having ownership of something, right? So deal and sail seem awfully close. But I'm going to make sure that I'm not like, well, plea and claim. No, I think that's right. All right. Mindful, negligent, neurotic, which means like sensitive to psychological stress. Lax, which means like relaxed. Delectable. Delectable means like delicious, I think. Mindful and negligent are opposites. Neurotic, lax, and negligent are pretty close, right? If you're negligent, you're like too lax. Yeah. Okay. Quash, I know this from law, it's quash a subpoena. Evade and quash are basically the same thing. But quash and defeat are kind of similar. So that's a tough one. Enumerate and has nothing to do with any of these words. Assist doesn't either. So when you quash a subpoena, you kind of both defeat it and evade it. But I'm going to kind of go with defeat. All right. Entrapment is like a... Well, we all know what entrapment is. It's like a law enforcement thing. Partner is a verb and a noun. So I want to skip that for a second. Fool is... well, I got a fool right here. She's sleeping. Companion is also Exhibit B. A mirror is a noun, but it's also a verb. This trust is a little tricky because it doesn't really, kind of tell you one or the other. All right, so entrapment is a state of like tricking somebody into, well, fool is a verb. And entrapment is the noun. They're kind of similar. Partner is a noun and a verb. Partner and companion are the same. That's pretty close. All right. Junk and trash are the same thing, in essence. Trivial, crude. I'm taking my time with this because there's no time limit. Whenever there's no time limit, you got to go overboard if you have to. I could do this in 3 seconds if I wanted to. I'd have less accuracy, but there's no time limit. Fuck it. Trivial is something that's, I don't know, a number of different words you could describe it, but basically unimportant, trite. Crude is uncouth. Presidential is the opposite. Flow is both a noun and a verb. Minor is a noun and an adjective. Minor and trivial are quite similar, so I'm going to just pick those. Prattle is to like go on and on. I prattle a bit. A siren is a sound, but you can also have it as a different kind of noun. Couch and couch are very different. One's a verb, one's a noun. Chatter and prattle are virtually the same word, so let's go with that. All right. Above is a preposition, I think, right? Slow is both an adjective and a verb. Over is another preposition, so over and above are quite similar. Pierce and what and slow are kind of pretty much non sequiturs. All right, assail is kind of like to attack with, usually the way it's used in English is like you assail somebody with like, it's used metaphorically, like with words or something. Arcane, well, we know what designate is. It's just a verb to describe or to indicate something. And specify is like quite similar, so just obviously the right answer there. All right. Succeed is two different kind of verbs, right? You can succeed at a goal or you can succeed somebody in place of something else, right? To drop is simply usually just a verb. Occasionally it can be a noun. Drop and fall are quite similar, so I'm going to pick those two. All right, fly and soar are just way too close to each other there. Okay. Well, fly, soar, and hop are actually kind of similar, but hop is, something that my cat Nibbles does. She doesn't fly or soar. All right, disperse is to release some funds, basically. Perplex is to confuse. Muster is to I guess, gather the strength to do something. Convene is something quite similar. Feign is sort of to fake. Disperse is like to hand out. Perplex, to confuse. Feign is also like that. Muster. He mustered the strength to get up in the morning, right? Convene. This is, they're going to get harder, obviously. The last ones will be very, very hard, but that's the best thing I have. A cistern is like a... Shit. This is the first one I don't really know. I thought a cistern was like a little, like, vase or something. I thought. Crimp is to, like, it's another weird word. I think crimp and pleat are like the same thing. Bastion is almost like a military word, right? Leeway is, I don't know, I always thought it was like a colloquial word, but it's like an allowance. All right, soldier, this could also be solder, right? To soldier on, or is it that solder? Soldier, not soldier, but soldier. I want to look that up later because I'm confused. Beguile is that a weird word. It doesn't mean what it sounds like. Distant, reveal, and seduce. Beguile, distant, reveal, and seduce. Beguile and seduce, I think. The problem with beguile is I always confuse it with this other word, bemused. Bemused means to confuse, but I think beguile and seduce are quite similar. So let's leave it at that. Dowager and matron, I think, are similar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Worldly means somebody who's like refined. Solo and alone are close enough. Protracted is something that's like lengthened beyond a normal period of time. Standard and normal are the same. Admissible, barbaric, lackluster, drab, and spiffy. I think I'd say lackluster and drab are the same. Okay. Related, intrinsic, alien, steadfast, and pertinent. Well, if something's pertinent, it's related. So I think that's pretty good. Facile is something that's sort of easy to understand or easy to do. Annoying, we all know what that is. Clicker. Clicker sounds like a noun to me. Something obnoxious is annoying. All right. Capricious. It's whimsical, decided without care. Incipient is something that's growing slowly, or in kind of coming to be threatening or something like that. Galling is something really annoying. Nascent is something sort of coming to existence. So nascent and incipient are the same, or close enough. Noted, somebody who's notable, or something that's notable, or something like that. Subsidiary, something that's under something else. Culinary is related to food. Illustrious is something notable. So noted and illustrious are pretty close. Breach has a number of definitions, but the typical one is the verb to breach a contract or something like that. But it has noun meanings too. Harmony is two notes going on at once, but more metaphorically, it generally means two things that go well together. Vehement is a strong expression, right? Rupture is something that's breaking. Rupture and breach are very, very similar, but harmony, vehement, and acquiesce are pretty different. Influence, we all know what influence is. Power and influence are quite similar. Cauterize is something you do to a wound. Bizarre and regular are opposites, so influence and power. All right, we're almost done. Silence. Silence and rage. Rage and anger. Okay, pretty easy. Sector. Well, a sector is a division of things. Mean. Mean can mean a number of things. It generally means like harsh, difficult, angry, I don't know, that kind of stuff. Light, predator, non sequiturs. All right. House, carnival, yeast, economy, and domicile. Well, a house and a domicile are the same thing. Depression and despondency is quite similar. Forswear, hysteria, and integrity have nothing to do with each other, as far as I know. Okay. Memorandum, catalog, bourgeois, trigger, and note. Well, memorandum is just basically a note. So, memorandum and note, I think, are pretty close. Catalog is somewhat, kind of related in that it's a noun. But bourgeois is sort of a noun or an adjective. And trigger is pretty irrelevant there. All right, these are tough words. Fulminant, which is like something that's kind of like, in medicine at least, is something that's like exacerbated or something like that. Doohickey is kind of a colloquial word for a thing. A ligature is if I'm not mistaken, it's something that you strangle somebody with. An epistle and a letter are the same, I think. Epistle is an old word for like I think a scroll, a testimony, a letter, or something like that, I think. So I'm just going to go with that. All right. Titanic is like gargantuan. Equestrian is related to horses. So Titanic and gargantuan are the same. I can't even say that word out loud. But promiscuous is something that I know a lot of people who are promiscuous. I'll just say that. Stanchion is a word it's a great word, but I don't remember what the hell it is. A strumpet, if I'm not mistaken, is like isn't it like an old word that means it's something like, sort of means like promiscuous, if I'm not mistaken. Pole can mean a few things, but generally it's sort of like a fireman's pole or something like that. It's just a long, thin kind of thing you can grab onto. Pale means a few different things, but in general it means a light skin color, but it can mean a number of things. Forestall is to sort of like to lengthen or extend a processor or something like that. So this one's tricky because I don't know exactly what a strumpet is or stanchion, but I think a stanchion and a pole. Stanchion is definitely a noun, and I kind of think it's a pole, but I also don't know what a strumpet is, to be frank. So this one's probably going to get wrong, is my guess, and that's frustrating because I should be getting a perfect score on this. Well, I have some things to learn, I guess. The positive way to look at it. Yearn is to desire strongly. These are all pretty easy words so far. Reject is something, a verb we all know. Hanker is to sort of yearn, so that's pretty easy. Despair is a different sort of emotion. Indolence is just laziness, so I think yearn and hanker are pretty close. All right. Introduce, terminate, shatter, bifurcate, and fork. Bifurcate is when you separate two things. So fork is something quite similar. Shatter, terminate, and introduce are like quite different verbs, whereas bifurcate and fork are pretty related, I would say. Yeah. All right. Omen is like a harbinger. Oh, well, there we go. Opulence is like extravagant display. Mystic and demand are pretty much non sequiturs. All right, hightail. It's a weird word. I think people use it as a verb to be like to exit, right, or something like that. Report, perturb, and surmise are kind of non sequiturs. Abscond and hightail are like, abscond is maybe a more formal definition of the colloquial hightail. Report has a couple of meanings. Mostly it's the verb meaning we all know. Surmise is to like determine something, and perturb is to disturb something. So I think hightail and abscond. All right, fugacious, vapid, fractious, querulous, and extemporaneous. This is great. So fractious and querulous are the same in this case. Vapid just means somebody's obsessed with appearance. Fugacious, I'm not 100% sure what it means, but I think it means something that's like detestable or something like that. Querulous and fractious are like argumentative, basically. Extemporaneous means without preparation. All right. Cardinal, pilot, fool, trial, and inkling. These are interesting. An inkling, we'll start at the bottom this time. An inkling is when you have a sense of something, like a hint. Trial means a lot of different things. It's a verb, it's a noun. But I mean, I would say that it's generally a noun that means like preliminary chance. And a pilot is quite similar. Of course, we have different nouns, a pilot and verbs, but I think that's the best. A pilot and a trial are like, quite similar. Full, cardinal, and inkling are like pretty different words. Okay. Fixed, rotund, stagnant, permanent, and shifty. Well, fixed and permanent are the same. Rotund, stagnant, and shifty are... Rotund just means fat. Stagnant means not moving. Shifty is kind of dodgy. And fixed and permanent. Well, fixed, permanent, and stagnant are kind of similar, actually. But stagnant means kind of like something that's not growing, whereas permanent and fixed kind of mean like they're not even able to change. All right, let's see how we did. You completed the test. Did you try your best, and can we score your data for use in research? Sure. Before your results, am I willing to ask a few more questions? Sure, fuck it. Okay. Do you agree? I went through a phase where I was interested in the occult. Disagree. I wish magic were real. Disagree. I do not like nose rings. Slightly agree, I'd say. I think belly dancing is ridiculous. I'm going to stay neutral on this. I think there are some things science can't explain. I'm going to go a little left, slightly disagree. I believe that religion is foolish. I'm going to slightly agree. I do not think politics is worth getting mad about. Slightly agree. I'd be interested in investing in gold. Slightly disagree. I think the police are corrupt. Slightly agree. I do not trust doctors. Strongly disagree. I don't trust most doctors. Sexual jokes make me uncomfortable. I'll say slightly disagree. I laugh at people who do stupid things and get hurt. I strongly disagree. I have too much empathy for that. I go to coffee shops. Okay, agree. I see myself as dependable and self-disciplined. Somewhat agree. I am interested in military history. Neutral. I would hate to work as a cattle rancher. Somewhat agree. I think it is important that humans colonize space. Somewhere between agree and strongly agree. Fuck it, I'll say strongly agree. I think that children should not be exposed to violent video games. Well, I was, so I'm going to say disagree. Slightly disagree. I love large parties. Agree. I would never go to a dance club. Should I go to a club every day? I agree. No, wait, I disagree. I like opera singing. I'll agree. I like jazz music. Agree. I care a lot about behaving in proper ways. Hell no, I disagree. I think monogamy is necessary for true love. Ooh, tough one. I'm going to stay neutral on that one. I don't like to put anything unnatural in my body. Completely disagree. Bitch, everything's unnatural. There's no such thing as natural. I admit mistakes. Hell yeah. I make mistakes every day. I hurry my work. Definitely disagree. I let others do their own thing. Yeah, of course. I agree or strongly agree. I get into shouting matches with other people. Not unless they start that shit. Don't start with me. I prefer to read nonfiction more than fiction. All right, I strongly agree. How much education have you completed? University degree. What type of area did you live in? Urban. What is your gender? Shit. You can't even ask that anymore. I'm male. Is English your native language? Yes. How many years old are you? I'm 40 years old. God damn. All right, let's go. 44 right and 1 wrong. Hey! Your boy. So I don't know how that gives you a 133, because that basically just means you can't get. I mean, what would you get if you got 45 right at a 45 instead of 44 at a 45? Like, what does that even fucking mean? Was it timed? No, it wasn't timed. That's still 3 sigma, right? I mean, I'll take it. Shit. I'll take it. I don't care what they think the score is, but I got the 44 out of 45, so that's all I care about. I wonder which one I got wrong. That'd be nice to know. Alright, whatever. They graded you on this survey question. Speak easy. Alright, this is the tough one. This is the full scale IQ test. 6 sections, solo, valid only if you take it. 10 to 15 minutes, that's it. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Fuck it. Fuck it, let's go. Is this the right test, by the way? I think it is. Yeah, let's go. Fuck it.
Yeah, full scale is the right one.
Let's ball. Let's fucking go. Alright, select all the words. I already did this. Large. Vortion is not a word. Stop that. Mammoth, huge. Prodigious does kind of mean big. I don't know. Hippopotamen is not a word. Lamiaceous is not a word. Colossal. Prodigious is kind of does mean big, doesn't it? Prodigious. No, it doesn't mean big. All right, that's it. These are the ones. Let's go. Blame. Arrest, not a word. In guilt, not a word. Indict. Inculpate is blame, for sure. Vistify. All these fake-ass words, man. Accuse, charge, blame. I think that's good. Cold, freezing, chilly. Gelid, not a word. Maugre, not a word. Boreal. Boreal might be a word, but I don't think it's a word. Nippy. All right, we good. Stop, terminate, halt. Anneal, not really. Abrogate, yes. Degrut, end. Countermand kind of means to stop. Right? Scythe, reprobate, degrut, and anneal. Okay, we good. Short. Unpreposing. Brief. Precarious. Epigrammatic. Quick. Short and quick are kind of the same. Ephemeral. Fleeting. I think we're good. Beginner. A rookie, a novice. Neophyte, newcomer. I don't know greenhorn, but okay. Thin. I think gossamer is kind of thin, but I don't know. Skinny, narrow. Diaphanous is kind of, it is thin. Some of these are kind of like, I always thought gossamer was like a noun, actually. Sheer doesn't mean thin, it means see-through, I thought. Sheer is kind of thin. Anemical, like anemic doesn't really mean, I don't even think anemical is a word. That's good enough to me. Mental rotation subset. Oh shit, shape rotation. Let's go. In this section, we give an example shape and ask to select from a list of other shapes which ones are the same. Not good English for this IQ test. For example, the two shapes below are the same, just viewed from a different direction. Bullshit. Okay, yeah, they're the same. Fine. But the two shapes are actually different. See the animation that shows their mirror images. Oh, chiral. What the fuck is chiral? Height. 8 answers. 3 to 5 of them will be correct? What? Alright, let's do it. Fuck it. Which of these shapes are the same as above? Okay, so we got 3. Then we have 2. Okay, we have sort of a Tetris block like that. Man, this shit hard. Not gonna lie. I could look at this a few different ways. hard for real. Alright, this is obviously... I feel... Okay. This is annoyingly hard. This is definitely not it. This is definitely not it. Definitely not. Definitely... Okay. These are literally the same. Alright, just... But the question is, if you keep turning these, will they actually end up in the same direction? I think so, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not the master shape rotator. Definitely this one. Right? No. No, 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 no. I have to figure out like a good framework for this. I think basically maybe the best way to do it is I think about there being, just the best way to do this is, okay. So probably the best way to do it is think about this as this is a 2x3 array. Okay. Well, it's m columns and rows, so it would be 2x3. And if you think about it as numbers, it's one, let's see, mn, right? So m rows, n columns. M rows, there are 2 rows and there are 3 columns. So you could argue that if you rotate this, say 45 degrees clockwise, right? You would argue that maybe an easier way to do it is look at it top down as a 2x2 array. There are 3 2x2 arrays. So it's 1, 0, 1, 0 for the first array, right? The second array, when oriented, I guess turning counterclockwise, 45 degrees I should say, is 0, 0, 1, 0. The third array, or matrix, is 0, 1, 1, 1. So that's kind of the way I would look at it. Now, one of the problems with this is that the orientation can change the array values, but the good part about it is there's only 2 array values, right? So I'm trying to come up with a systematic way of doing it so I get them all right. I can just guess, obviously. I wonder if you're not allowed to use notes, I don't think, right? All right, so the first one, if you turn it upside down, right, so the bottom array can be shifted to make it correct. So if you just simply stand that back up and then rotate it, would you get the same shape? Well, I think you would. I just hate guessing on things like this. I'd like to have a scientific way of proving with certainty. All right. Well, I think number one is correct. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Like I said, I'm trying to come up with a systematic way that would guarantee me to be right every time, and I'm thinking about different abstractions instead of just doing shape rotating, which I think I can do as well as anyone. I always like to kind of hack these things in my mind a little bit first. 2 seems certainly wrong. If you rotated that. Well, maybe not necessarily. Yeah, I can't come up with necessarily a good way to do this. Now, one thing I'd say is that there are no right angles. That the 2 appendages do go in the same direction. So the top floor, if you will, has 2, and the bottom floor has 3, and the middle floor is 1. So perhaps that's a decent way to look at it. So it has to be 2, 1, 3 or 3, 1, 2. So otherwise you have to exclude. So like, I guess instead of thinking of them as arrays, you could sort of think of them preliminarily as sums or vectors. So 2, 1, 3 or 3, 1, 2. So the first one has a 3, 1, 2. The second one has a 2, 1, 3. The next one has a 2, 1, 3. This one is a 2, 1, 3. That one is a 3, 1, 2. There's a 2, 1, 3 there. 2, 1, 3, and then 2, 1, 3. So they actually all have the same sums, which makes it kind of tricky actually. So now you have to think about the orientations. Well, the one way to look at it is the third, the vector with 3 is the 1 attached to the 3 has to be on one of the left or right. It can't be in the middle attachment. So if you look at number 1, that qualifies. If you look at number 2, that qualifies. If you look at number 3, that qualifies. If you look at number 4, that qualifies. If you look at number 5, that qualifies. If you look at number 6, that qualifies. Number 7, and number 8. So again, not a help there. We can't exclude any. All right. The next piece that you can say is that for the third position, whatever piece is connected to the first position, or the second vertex or vector, is also connected to the next vector. And again, I think you don't get much help there, but 1 qualifies, 2 qualifies, 3 qualifies. 4 qualifies, 5 qualifies, looks like 6 does as well, 7 does, and 8 does. Okay, again, no help. Last but not least is that the position that the vector with 2 elements occupies, the second non-attached element, occupies the space perpendicular to the vector with 3 elements. So I think that's the giveaway. And that was sort of more akin to the first way I looked at it, which is if you think about it as a volumetric box with 6 elements, which is probably the way I should have thought of it to sort of begin with. Not 6 elements, but 12 elements. Which is a pretty nice way to think of it, actually, if you think about it. You could think of the first face as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with, in this case, 1, 3, 5, and 6, and the second face as simply having 2 elements, 1 and 6. That's actually maybe the best strategic way to look at it. All right, well, let's see. Going back to my original thought, on the 3, 1, 2, I think that the 1 is conclusively correct because it occupies the space that the 3 vector doesn't have. So we'll stay with that. In terms of number 2, I think number 2 is accurate as well. Am I crazy? Is number 3 accurate as well? And number 4? Maybe I just need some sleep. We can exclude number 5. Number 5 is not right. Number 6, I think is number 6 correct. Number 7 is not correct. Number 8 kind of actually looks correct. So that's using my 3, 1, 2 vector approach. Let me try using the volumetric approach, where if I orient it, the 2 faces have to be the 1, 3, 5, 6 and the 1, 6. So if I reorient number 1, does one face have 1, 3, 5, 6? 1, 3, 5, 6. Yes, this face does. And then parallel to that face, is it 1, 6? So 1, 3, 5, 6. But parallel is not 1, 6. Parallel in this case is actually 1, 2. So I don't think that this is correct. It's no longer correct. Let me see if I can look at it some other way. I don't think so. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I just want to make sure I'm right. When there's no time penalty, then you can take as long as you'd like. This is maybe my spatial relation skills aren't as good as I thought. No, I think I got that framework. Pretty confident in that framework. Maybe I just have to rotate it a different way, though. So the volumetric approach, I want to make sure it works in every instance. What I'm uncomfortable with this here is that there's 4 elements in one side of and then 2 elements on the other side, which qualifies, but their orientation doesn't seem to be the same. When I looked at it earlier, when you looked at the base with 3, the attachment with 1, the next attachment, and then it has to face in the same direction. But it also has to fill the space that's not filled. Maybe I should just rotate my head. I don't know. I'm perplexed. Maybe my cat can help. What do you think? Am I smarter than a cat? I don't even know at this point. This thing's got me, like, so messed up. Maybe I need some sleep. I don't know. I kind of I kind of like one. I don't. Should I select one? Kind of feel like one is okay. I don't think I'm doing enough visualization in my head, because if I take that shape, kind of pull it in 90 degrees, right? I'm not sure my mathematical viewpoint is going to work now that I think about it. I wonder if there's an example from chemistry that could be useful here, actually. Because this is very much like chemistry. I like one. I don't know. I think one is okay. Let's just see what happens with the next one. We're taking too long, right? All right, so here there's 3, 4, 3, and then 3s. 3, 4, 3, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3. That should be okay. 3, 3, 4, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3. This is another annoying one because they all have the right number. So it's only I think they're all constituently correct. It's just a matter of the rotation, so it's a little annoying. All right, well, let's see. This is sort of like a C with the last shape of the C in plane is. This is easier because I think they're all in plane except for 2 blocks, right? So they're all in plane and then there's 2 blocks. So the first one's correct because it's simply this shape pulling in a little bit. If you rotate the second shape just 180 degrees, it'll also be correct, right? Almost certain. Yes, this is a lot easier. This is correct. This is just rotated. This one, number 4. Number 4 is, I don't think number 4 is right. Number 5 is correct. I'm going to forget the mathematical stuff and just rotate it mentally. Number 6 is correct. I can't respond to any chats. I see somebody in the corner of my eye made a super chat. Thank you. But I cannot respond. Number 6. Yeah, number 6 is correct. Number 7. Number 7 does not look correct. Wrong direction. Number 8. Well, let's see. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Nope. Number 8 is not correct. All right, let's go to the next one. Sorry that first one took so long. I just really didn't want to... I really wanted to think about a systematic way to do it. All right, let's look at number 3. So number 3 is similar to number 1 in a lot of ways. It's simpler, though. Number 3 is just one of those Tetris blocks with one of the blocks moving away from space, from the plane. So there's a plane of 4 blocks, and then on sort of the long end of that plane, there's a 90-degree angle. But we have to be sure that when we orient the object that we got it right. So, for example, number 1 is chiral. It's chiral, but it's not. It wouldn't qualify because when you rotate it, you have the wrong direction. Number 3 is just simply not the same shape. Number 2, kind of drawn poorly here, but I think is correct. Number 2 is right. Number 3 is oriented the wrong way, so that's the chiral opposite. Number 5, I guess, is correct. Number 6 is correct. Just sort of stand that back up, and you would be in the right direction. This is a left-hand, right-hand problem, diastereomers, right? Okay. Number 7 is even the same shape. Let's see. They're going in this perpendicular or the parallel direction, so that simply can't be right. But let me double check anyway. Yeah, it just can't be right because the 4th block is parallel instead of, is it? Hold on. Stand it up. If you stand this up this way, you have one block protruding to the right and one block protruding into space. So when you rotate it 180 degrees, the block will start protruding towards you, which would not be the right orientation. All right, the 8th one is correct. If you stand it up, pushing it upward, it would have all the wrong orientations. So that means when you rotate it 180 degrees, you would have all the right orientations. Okay. The last two are a little easier. The first one was tricky. All right, this looks a little more complicated, but they're just simply 3 pieces of 3. It's a little like the C problem, but just a slight difference. So it's pretty easy, I think. A good way to think about them again is through planar, sort of as a planar concept. So here you have one big plane, which is where the shape starts in, say, a 3 by 3 matrix. Row 1 is 0, 0, 1. Row 2, not a 3 by 3, this is actually a 3 by 5. So it's 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. And in addition to that one plane, you have the first row of that matrix has 2 more elements coming out of it backwards into space. Okay, so if you can get a plane that has that orientation, you just have to have the first row have 2 elements going backwards into space. And I don't think you could just rotate in that case. It has to go backwards into space. So in this case, number 1 doesn't work. Number 2 does. Number 3 does, because if you rotate it the other way, you're good. Number 4, let's see, reverse it or just pull it back or rotate it upside down and it should work. Yeah, number 4 is good. Number 5, I don't think number 5 works. Number 5 is chiral, close but opposite. Its projection is coming into space instead of out of space. The next one, if you rotate it around the x-axis, or the y-axis, I should say, 180 degrees, you'll see that it is correct. Number 7 is all in one plane, which doesn't work. That's easy. Number 8 is correct. If you rotate it clockwise 90 degrees about the x-axis, you will get the right answer. I'm almost certain, at least. Yeah. All right, cool. Visual memory subtest. You will be shown a grid with some cells shaded for 5 seconds. You'll have to reproduce the property. No problem, I can do that. All right. This is like a very simple one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think I got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 2, 1, 2 separation, 2, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2 separation, 2, 2, 1. Right. Ends 1, 3, 4. That was too slow. Ends 1, 3, 4. The rest I just really missed. It was too fast. I guess I'll leave it at that. Right. 1 or 2, 4, 3. Everything but the middle. 2. Okay. 2. What did I say? 2, 4, 3. Everything but the middle. I missed most of that. All right. I can kind of try to do this a little more viscerally. Okay. Not very good. All right. Not great, but close enough. All right, anagrams. In this section, you will be a what? In this section, you will be a list of scrambled letters. Okay, and asked to find as many as you can that can be unscrambled into real English words within a short time limit. Each trial lasts 60 seconds. There will be 18 options for each trial, of which 9 can be unscrambled into real words. I hope this is easy, because I'm not sure what these fucking instructions are. Definitely not English. You'll receive +1 point for each item correctly and -1. All right. 18 options for each trial, 9 of which can be unscrambled into real words. I don't know what the fuck they're asking. All right, I'll do my best. I don't know what the fuck it is. All right. Select as many as possible that can be unscrambled into an English word. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I got it. All right. Red, ash, gap.
Are we looking at the wrong screen, or are we looking at the right one?
Or. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit. There's 3 more? Or 2 more? Damn it. Alright, some guy was talking, so I'm just going to mute the live stream. Confused the shit out of me. Alright. Okay, got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go. Only got 5 of those. That's not very good. All right, central point subtest. In this task, you'll be given a grid with some points shaded in green. You'll need to select the point that is most in the middle of them. Okay. This one is the lowest average distance. Okay, that makes sense. Which one's the lowest average distance here? Yeah, it's something like that. That's gonna say do I have to do a time? Am I timed? Oh, this is easy. If I'm not timed, this is really easy. That's just math. All the green points. That doesn't make any sense. Closest to all of them? Well, this one is... This one's probably the closest, right? It's one away from this one. I guess if you use Pythagoras' theorem, it's the square root of 2 away from that one. 2 away from that one, 2 in the square root of 2 from that one. So I would say that all of those give you the right number. Okay, great. Am I supposed to highlight multiple of them or just one? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer would be like here or here, and I would say it was here. Oh! Sacré bleu. Okay, this is interesting. You'd naturally think it'd be like here or something, right? But the last one surprised me, so... Let's see, I'm 1 away from these 2. Can I be... I'm like 1, 2 away from these 2. Can I be like closer somehow? 2 away from these 2 and 2 away from these 2 and only... So if I pick here... I almost feel like I'm closer. I don't know, it seems natural to think like here is the closest, but... Okay, excellent. This one's tricky. I want to say it's here, right? But maybe it's here or here. What do you think? Might even be like here. Oh, almost. You're right, this one's weird. I wonder if it's like here. Well, this is 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. This one's 1, 3, 5, 5, and 6. This one is 1, 1, 3, 6, and 7. 1, 2. I don't know. Tough one. I think like here is best. All right, pretty good. Ooh. Oh, it was just there. Okay, let's say like here. It could be like here. Actually, it could be like here. Shut up, kitty. You're not smarter than me. Ah. What? Duh. Oops. Pretty good, I think. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 here. Oof, this is a tough one. They're all pretty far. So you just minimize this. Okay. Not too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Bless you, kitty. All right, exposure memory subtest. In this subtest, you'll be shown a sequence of icons one at a time. Then you'll be shown 8 icons and asked which were in the sequence you just saw. What? A sequence of icons one at a time. Then you'll be shown 8 icons, asked which sequence they were shown. Okay, 8. Shut up, mama. Of the 8 options, 3 to 5 will be correct answers. We get 1 point for each selection and -1 for the wrong ones. Okay, I don't even know what they're saying, but we'll give it a shot. All right, W, biohazard, clock, notebook, expand, ninja star. Ninja star, notebook, expand. That's it. I think there was a clock. I don't know if I called that a clock, but it was sort of a clock. I didn't see biohazard though. All right, memorize these icons. Map, beaker, hand, chair, Bubble Ninja. All right, I saw that one. Map. Bubble Chair Ninja. I think that was it. Okay. Phone, 2 people, diploma, star, brain, safe, helix, gavel, car guy. 2 people, phone, gavel. I think we got it. Dude, paintbrush, Z, exclamation point, 2 people, road, board, plane, X, 2 people. Exclamation point. This is a tough one. We definitely had that one. I don't think we had that X, and I kind of don't think we had that plane. Well, fuck it, let's go. All right, wolf. Okay. Oof, that was tough. That was really tough. They showed those real fast. Last one. Clock, 3 things, hat, energy, down, X, folder, diploma. Holy shit, that was hard. Think they showed the lock? Maybe not. Okay. I've completed the test. All right. Who knows what I got? I'll answer some more of those research questions. Optional survey. Is the first time you ever taken this test? Yes. How it helped with references? Yes. How many times have you taken online Q tests from life? I'm going to go with 1. What is your age in years? 40. I'm just going to answer this one because I took the real one. Is English your native language? Yes. My gender is male. American college test, I haven't. I did take the SAT, I want to say 1450 in 2000. All right, IQ test, yes, that's what I was talking about. So maybe I'll just take off the, well, I did do an online one too. All right, so I think my IQ test that I took was 138, and I took that in prison in 2017. Name of the test I think was WACE. I'm not a member of Men's, yes. All right, 129, I'll take it. Memory IQ was low. Yeah, I mean, that's about right for me, so. Yeah, I think I've lost like 5 IQ points since prison. Maybe a little more, but I'll take it. I think it's pretty accurate too. I know some people are talking about how it is like massively overestimating, but what was this visual memory? My visual memory score is like total trash. Spatial IQ is like okay. Verbal IQ is super easy. Yeah, shut up. Did you just fart on me? You bad kitty. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, shut up. Your IQ's about a 50. You got about a, okay, fine. I lost IQ points playing Rust. I would tend to agree with that. I wanted to ask ChatGPT some shit. So a lot of people, I have to upgrade to Plus. A lot of people say ChatGPT's like been down and like expiring, not expiring, but broken. Let me see if I can grab a credit card real quick. What, kitty? You hungry? All right, let me get you some treats. We'll be right back. me give you the link to this test. Oh, hey, kitty. She's very excited. I was about to call her trashy. She'd be really mad. Let me give you the link. It's called openpsychometrics.org. Enjoy. We've got Kitty here. She's real excited because I have this. Oh, did I shake the treats? No, don't. Oh, did you just lick your lips? Oh, you're hungry, huh? I could see. Hey, watch it. Watch that. This is not a toy. This is my iPhone thing. Stupid. This is not a toy. No. No, stop it. Hey! Stop that. It's not a toy, kitty. You stupid kitty. That's what you are. You stupid kitty. You trying to play? You trying to play with this? They love you, kitty. They love you. They love you. Look up here. Look up here, kitty. Why is it so fuzzy, kitty? Give me some focus. Focus. It's just out of focus, kitty. I don't know what's going on, kitty. Alright, we're gonna do some treats now. Come on, camera guy. Help me out here. Alright, kitty, we're gonna manually adjust these camera settings. I know. Why do we have to do that? It's crazy. We're gonna zoom in. We're gonna focus. There we go. Camera got focused, goody. Alright, I'm gonna need you to stop playing with this. I'm gonna need you to stop playing with this so we can chunk you up. We're gonna chunk you up. Goizard swag. Let's chunk him up. We're gonna chunk kitty up. What? Bless you, kitty. Oh, you stupid kitty. You stupid kitty. Meow. 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 What is that? You're not a dog, kitty. You're not supposed to pant. All right, kitty. Let's get you some treats. Enough of this. We've been playing around. All right, now she's ready. She's ready. Ready. Oh, it's got a stay fresh seal. We gotta get rid of that seal. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, you forgot about the treats? Forgot about Dre? You forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody kitty gotta talk like they got something to say. But nothing comes out when they move the treats. Just a bunch of gibberish. And they forgot about nipples. They forgot about nipples. Yum, 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 yum. Let's see if we can get a close up. Miss Nibbles, Miss Nibbles. Over here, over here. Look here for a second. Beautiful. So beautiful, so beautiful. Psst, psst, psst. Psst, psst, psst. Oh, she's so hungry. She's so hungry. You can follow Nibbles on Twitter, by the way. On Instagram, excuse me. She's got all kinds of exclusive photos. Yes, you're so hungry. Yes, my love. Yes, my love, love. Yes, you're so hungry. Yes, you're a good kitty. Except when you jump up and down all in the sleep, kitty. I'm gonna chunk you up. You're gonna become a big kitten. A big kitty. A real cat, not a kitten anymore. That's stupid. You're so hungry. You just ate a whole bunch, too. Yes. It's a little beast. It's a little beast right now. Beast mode. Roof. I went to my lawyer's in between deposition and stuff, and they had a dog in the office. It was pretty cool. He barked at me. I was pretty upset. I was like, "Hey, bud, don't bark at me again." Oh, it's too crunchy for you, kitty. These are not kitten treats. These are cat treats. I love you, kitty. I love you. I love you, kitty. It was a big old poodle. I was gonna smack him right in his mouth. And bark at me again, doggo. Oh, and there was this crazy lady on the train. Right? So I was sitting on the F train, going uptown. Here's my mama. Yes, little mama. Oh, she's so nice. She's so nice. I was sitting on the F train, and this lunatic lady from Africa, I guess she said, I don't know, sat down on the train and just started yelling. And I was like, not fucking today, lady. I just did an 8-hour deposition with FTC and the New York Attorney General. I'm not playing with you, lady. She started yelling about devil and this and that. I was like, you listen to me, you crazy bitch. You get the wrong one. I ain't the one. Not today. So this lady, all right, we're in New York City subway, and there's a subway car, and basically on two sides of the car, parallel to each other, there's a bench of seats. And there's like, probably about 6 people could fit on each bench, and there's kind of like a natural divider in the middle. And let me draw it out for you, okay? So this is the looking down on the subway car from the top, all right? There's kind of like a bench here, a divider, I should say. So these are the benches. And so as you look down on the top, these are the random people, right? Random people, some bigger people, some smaller people, whatever. And then here, this sort of 6 people who are sitting down, right? And this is my stupid ass right here. I'll color mine in. That's me, okay? And I'm sitting, and this woman, these to say the subway doors right here. And this is one big car, and then there's another sort of bench over here. That's basically what a New York subway train looks like, okay? And it's rush hour. This lady gets in, right? Tall, skinny lady. Probably kind of could be like pretty in a certain way, but man, this lady's just yammering on and on and on. I think she's drunk. And she comes and sits down right here, and she's just screaming, like literally right here, all right? These 3 people bounce. They're like, nah, we ain't doing this. They're done. They call it the fucking day immediately. Immediately, they're done. So they leave. This lady decides to lie down. Lie down right there, right? So this divider's gone. And she says, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to lie down on the fucking crowded subway. Like that. And I look at her, and back to my phone like this. She's lying that way, thank fucking God. But I was in jail for 5 years. This lady probably doesn't know that. I'm just sitting there like, go off? Do I go off? Go off yet? Maybe, no. I'm just sitting there like this. But I have to have one eye because I'm a native New Yorker. I got one eye on this situation because you're going to catch me slipping. That's for fucking sure. And I kind of feel like, in situations like that, like your antenna go up quite a bit, where you're like, this bitch trying to stab me, take my wallet, all those things when you live in New York long enough start rushing through your head. If you're not from New York, you might be like, oh, does this lady need help? and she was just like screaming this like African accent about devils, and like then she started saying some sexual stuff, and I felt a little bad. Across the way, there was these kind of like cute girls over here who were like smiling at me and laughing, and I was like rolling my eyes a little bit, but it was also on point. So now this fucking lady gets up, and I'm like, all right, if the lady to the left of me just got up, that's not good, because now it's just me and this bitch, this crazy ass bitch on the subway, while all these other people are looking at us. And I'm like, all right, I'll give this a few more minutes, see if she calms her ass down. And yeah, no, she definitely had schizophrenia or something like that. I don't think yeah, I mean, I was definitely like, this bitch starts talking to me or saying some shit to me, I just had an 8-hour government fucking meeting. Not now. Not today. So eventually, she kind of calms down a little bit. I think she was also maybe drunk. So again, she's lying down, she's chillaxing, and I just decided to get up and kind of go over to this side. But yeah, I don't know, like I'm tired. Like I just had a long ass meeting. I'm not trying to get up. So that was I mean, it was like another 5 or 10 minutes, so I don't fucking know, man. So anyway, that's that. Oh yeah, I wanted to order. I never bothered to get ChatGPT, the $20 a month thing, because I use the API so much. They should give it to me for free, to be honest. But let me get my credit card. Alright, let's see here. Secret codes, not for your enjoyment. I've done that too many times on stream. And you ruthless fuckers will order all kinds of shit. Shut up, kitty. No, shut up. I'm not my friend. You're a wild beast. Look at you, you're a wild beast. What are you doing, kitty? You're a wild beast. You're being a wild beast. Okay, we got ChatGPT-4 in the building. There it is. She's a mountain lion. What are you doing, kitty? What you doing? You're making a fool of yourself. That's what you're doing right now. You're stupid, kitty. Yeah. All right. So the question I have for ChatGPT is, how do I play the guitar solo from Weezer's song Tired of Sex? That is the true mark of intelligence. Get familiar with the song, but thanks a lot. Trashy is currently at home with my family in Brooklyn. She's living life, la vida loco. Oh, they're actually at a tablature. This is not the song at all. Yeah, it's just Rickroll, right? Like, this is even close. You want to hear the solo of the song, it is a little fucking different from this tab. So, not even fucking close, ChatGPT. It's a cool site. That was a fucking trash answer. I want my $20 back. And that's that. I'm sending this to Rivers Cuomo right fucking now. Print screen. It's not even an A for effort. It's fucking garbage. I'm tweeting this right fucking now. I need an amp, but my brother and my friends have said that you can just plug into a computer now, but I need that too. I don't have any guitar equipment whatsoever. Alright, I'm gonna at Weezer. The true mark of intelligence. Can GPT play this at Weezer solo? Can GPT at Rivers and Brian Bell? Where's Brian's fucking Twitter? Happy birthday to our guitar tech, Brian Bell. I don't think he has Twitter. I just try to email him or something. I don't know. Sorry, everyone. I just gotta tweet my heroes, my guitar heroes. Okay. Tonight on my knees.
Sarah was the one that actually referred me to the Founder Institute. Okay, so again, it is about education. You have to get educated in this space. It's VC stuff is like foreign language altogether, right? But now that we got it, there's something.
VC is a foreign language you shouldn't learn.
Now we know how to get it, but you can't give up after a few. You just find your tribe. sylvester A and B and C and D say no, keep at it, man, keep going, you know, don't give up. That's the thing. I think people give up, or they feel like they're entitled. Okay, now I've got an idea. No, you got to show traction, but you got to show traction by the way of, you know, actual revenue or this or that, right, or what have you. But you need to learn. There's a lot of people also giving bad advice. I've noticed too, even on Twitter Spaces. There's a lot of people with bad advice.
Even on
go
Twitter
with people that actually
Spaces?
know their stuff, that are subject matter experts in their space with proven past performance qualifications, like Sarah, like others, right? And I love Brian too. I don't know where Brian's at, but let me tell you, Brian's awesome because he's tough love, man. He's you know, when you pitch him or when you talk to him, right? You know, he'll you know poke. You know, he's technical. I'm technical, right? So you know, but it's awesome because you need people like that too, right? To kind of you know, help you build character, makes you stronger. You know, and it makes you that much more. You know, it improves upon your ability to pitch, right, and speak in the way that needs to be, I guess, translated that in the VC space. So, anyways, we got funded. I just wanted to say that we did. Okay, but you got to keep going. You can't give up. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, since it's quiet, I'm going to jump in. And Anna, congratulations, because mixed shows have been funded. I mean, when we got our first $1 million, it made my daughter and I the 37th and 38th black females to ever raise $1 million or more. And again, even with that, I guess I can just keep going back to, it still hasn't been the pathway that I have witnessed others get on that has less traction than us, that has, I mean, we want to rise to the rest. I mean, we got a lot of accolades, but at the same time, building a tech company and trying.
Take. Pretty good game for me, I think. Shut up. What do you want? No more treats for you. No more. No, kitty. That's not a toy. What are you doing, kitty? No, that's not for you. Stupid kitty. We're gonna eat you for dinner, kitty. Nom nom nom. Oh, stupid kitty. Yeah, I love you though. I do love you. I will admit, I love you. I will admit I love you. Boys Cast was a lot of fun. I like those dudes. They're really funny. I have a little allergies. This is really bad play on his part. He gives me the night outpost for free. I have to move a little quicker. It's a good time advantage now, but this is, I think, a superior position for me. I just need a good place to put this bishop. Alright, Kitty, come on. Get out of here. You're distracting me. My rating points have dropped and dropped because of you. Get the hell out of here. You don't want these people to witness a live kitty roasting. These people don't want to see kitty soup being made. That's right. We're going to make kitty soup out of you. Stupid. Alright. Not letting back rank make me. Stupid kitties. Yes, I love you. Okay, here's the pawn break. Fine by me, I guess. Oh, you really are crazy. Yeah, kitty, really. Hey, okay, listen, if you scratch me, kitty, we're making kitty soup out of you. We're making kitten soup. You scrawny little kitty. We're making kitten soup. You're scratching me too much, kitty. You're scratching me too much. I'm gonna make you into a burrito. You wanna be a burrito, kitty? I'm gonna make you into a burrito. See, I only have 30 seconds left because I'm playing with your stupid ass. Stupid kitty. Oh, what is this move? I don't have even time to think about it. I'll just take it. Okay. I really don't have the time. What the? What in tarnation? Oh, I fucked up. Thank God you didn't see that. What in tarnation was that? Hey. 17 seconds. Get this son of a bitch over here. Okay. 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 Okay, I'm gonna take that now. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. Then I'm gonna go there. Then I'm gonna go there. Oh shit. It's the fucking cat, man. Lauren Duca. Who? All right, what should I do? Should I go to sleep? I'm kind of tired. Should I work on some software? Should I look at some stocks? Stocks. All right, I want to look at Workday. I haven't looked at Workday in a long time. I kind of want to read the 10K for Workday. Play the guitar. My guitar's in the living room, I think. I don't know. Watch The Voice. What? I kind of want to play some music, but YouTube doesn't like that. Workday's still grown. Anil Busri, co-CEO of Workday. All these Indian bosses representing, bro. Bruh. Shout out to all you Indians. Where are my Indians at? Are you there? Where you at? Real Indian roll call. Let's go. Brum, 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 brum. Ride her. Where are my Punjabi princes? Brum, 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 brum. Where are my Gujarats? Where's my Bangalore? Where's my Mumbai ballers? I'm gonna learn Hindi for all y'all. Fuck it. Let's go. How do I know so much about India? I could be half Indian, studying chemistry and tech. I should have gone to IIT, fuck it. I like India, man. They're about their business, studying only the smartest shit. How about the goat Ramanujan? You guys know there are stories about Ramanujan? Oh man, the Kramer SVB stuff is so embarrassing. You guys know Ramanujan's story? Srinivasa Ramanujan. He did die young. It's very sad. This girl is so cute, by the way. This Australian chick. She does math videos. I highly recommend her. She's 1 million followers. Jeez.
Genius, there is one name you need to know, and that is of Srinivasa Ramanujan. He was a remarkable mathematician and could see connections between numbers that nobody else could see. Ramanujan was a self-taught Indian man who, despite having no formal education in mathematics, reached out to a Cambridge professor in the form of this letter. And when it comes to mathematical genius, there is one name.
Really unfortunate. You might have had to see that ad for half a second. I'm really sorry. Wrong account. Now we're on YouTube Premium. Okay, I hope you're okay. Was that too traumatic? Do you have to unsubscribe from me now? I'm really sorry.
Need to know, and that is of Srinivasa Ramanujan. He was a remarkable mathematician and could see connections between numbers that nobody else could see. Ramanujan was a self-taught Indian man who, despite having no formal education in mathematics, reached out to a Cambridge professor in the form of this letter and described some of his ideas.
She don't have the actual letter. Does she have the actual letter? I'd pay $1 million for that letter. She don't have the letter.
That professor, G.H. Hardy, was able to recognize Ramanujan's genius and invited him from India to come over to England and work with him. They had a really productive collaboration that spanned many years, and since this letter is what started...
Yo, that shit looks like the real... Man, tell me that ain't the real letter.
Such a remarkable story, I thought today I would show you through exactly what Ramanujan said to Hardy that enabled Hardy to recognize his genius and be so excited about it. The letter starts off with a...
There's actually a film about Ramanujan and a book about him.
A cover page, followed by about 11 pages of mathematics. Now, a couple of these pages have now been lost, along with the original cover letter, but what I have here is a transcription published by Hardy. Let's just have a read of this first paragraph here. It begins, "Dear Sir, I beg to introduce myself to you as a clerk in the accounts department of the Port Trust Office of Madras on a salary of only £20 per annum. I am now about 23 years of age. I have had no university education, but I have undergone the ordinary school course. After leaving school, I have been employing the spare time at my disposal to work at mathematics. I have not trodden through the conventional regular course which is followed in a university course, but I am striking out a new path for myself. I have made a special investigation of divergent series in general, and the results I get are termed by the local mathematicians as startling. Now, G.H. Hardy, whose first initials stand for Godfrey Harold, is one of England's leading pure mathematicians, and Ramanujan is trying to introduce himself to Hardy in such a way that Hardy understands where he's coming from, that he's kind of on the back foot with his situation, and tries to interest Hardy in taking him seriously. Hardy, like many mathematicians back then as well as now, would probably receive many such letters from people claiming to have discovered great things or to be their own kind of genius. And it's probably quite hard to tell who is the real deal. Let's now have a look at the second section of the letter, and it was actually rather unpromising. Ramanujan goes on to describe a result that he must have thought was one of his best, but was actually well known at the time. He is describing something called the gamma function, which is really an extension of the factorial function. For the factorial function, which we would write as n factorial, if n was, say, 5, then this would be equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. The gamma function could also be written as n minus 1 factorial. So if we were to do the gamma of 5, it would be equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If this is our complex plane with real numbers and imaginary numbers, the gamma function is well defined on this whole right-hand area for all complex numbers with positive real part.
Right,
What
kitty?
Ramanujan is describing with this equation here is a way to extend this function to also be defined in this left-hand side area.
What about
in this
the
case, that
imaginary
would be
plane,
all
kitty?
negative values of z, except for the negative integers. If we draw a plot of z versus
He's
the
defined
gamma
for
z,
them.
we see it is indeed well
He's
defined on
defined
all
for
of these
them.
positive numbers
Is
and for
it?
all of the fractional negative numbers,
Do you know?
but these dashed lines are the negative integers where the
I
function
think it
is not
is.
defined. Now, this trick of extending the domain of a function actually is called analytic continuation and was well known as a technique at the time. And doing analytic continuation, you would get exactly what Ramanujan has written here. So although it is not a new result, Ramanujan has independently come up with something that is useful to mathematicians without having access to the papers in which it would have been published. Let's take a look at this final
tired?
paragraph
Oh,
here,
you beautiful
in which
kitty.
Ramanujan says that he's come across an article written by Hardy, in which there is a statement that no
Look at the
definite
tail.
expression has been as yet found for the number
Extra
of
long
primes
tail.
less than any given number.
Correct.
I have found an expression
Check.
which very nearly approximates to the real
Beautiful
result,
kitty.
the error being negligible.
Double check.
I would request you to go through the enclosed papers. Being
You
poor,
love Daddy?
if you are convinced that there is
Triple
anything of
check.
value, I would like to have my theorems published. I have not given the actual investigations nor the expressions that I get, but I have indicated the lines on which I proceed. Being inexperienced,
Oh, you
I
wanna
would very
play?
highly value
I see.
any advice you give me.
I see you want to bite
Requesting to be
daddy.
excused for the trouble I give you.
I wanna
I
bite daddy,
remain,
but
dear sir,
I give you
yours
treats.
truly, S. Ramanujan.
I know you're a kid,
So
and
what
but
he was
I
talking
love
about
you. Why
here
you
in the
bite
third
me?
paragraph is about
Ow!
the distribution of prime numbers. If we want to find how many prime numbers there are less than or equal to a certain given number x, then we would denote that with the prime counting function denoted pi of x.
Okay,
What
now
we
I'll
have
tickle
is
your
a bit
belly.
of a step function
Ow!
where every time we find or count a new prime number, we add
cried.
1 to the tally. And many great mathematicians have tried to come up with a function that would accurately approximate this. Ramanujan goes into a bit more detail about his technique in the first couple of pages of his working. These are copies that I have here, the originals being stored at the Cambridge University Library. Ramanujan claimed that he could easily calculate the number of prime numbers up to 100 millions with generally no error, and in some cases with an error of 1 or 2. Now, it turns out that his prime counting technique was not quite as precise as he claimed it to be, but still was some really great mathematics. So perhaps those first two results mentioned in the cover letter were not so promising, but Ramanujan then goes on to give over 100 more results. That shows just how prolific he is in coming up with ideas and just how much work he's already done. On this third page here, we have the formulas for many sums and intervals that Ramanujan considers to be interesting. On this last page, we have talk of divergent series, and we have written down the now infamous result that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and so on, is equal to minus 1 over 12. And you might have heard of this seemingly absurd result. I'll link to some videos about it in the description as well. Ramanujan himself acknowledges that to add up all of the positive integers and get a result
All
that
positive
isn't
energies
infinity
equal negative
seems quite
112.
absurd.
That seems
But
crazy,
his
kitty.
confidence in his own
Even a
methods
kitty knows
meant
that's
that
not
he
true.
didn't shy away from presenting this to Hardy.
Ow!
After receiving the letter from Ramanujan,
Ow,
Hardy
help me!
consulted with his friend
Why you
and
biting
collaborator
me?
Littlewood. A quote from
Why you
Littlewood
biting me,
was that
kitty?
these
I
results
don't
must
wanna
be
get
true
clawed a
because
bit.
no one would have the imagination to invent them. It was Littlewood who also went on to later say that every positive integer was one
You
of
wanna
Ramanujan's
fight?
personal
You
friends.
want to fight?
In Hardy's first response to
You wanna
Ramanujan,
fight?
he says that he was exceedingly interested
wild
by his
beast?
letter and by the theorems which he stated.
Oh, you wanna take a
However,
bath?
he says that before
I
he
see.
can judge them, he must see proofs
see.
of some of the assertions. Hardy then groups the results into
beauty-
three
little beauty
categories.
bath.
These are number 1, results which are already known. Number 2, results which are new but not that important. And number 3, results that are new and potentially important. But Hardy insists that all of this relies on being
Close
able
up,
to see
kitty
some
cat.
proofs of this work. He put quite a few of the results into that first category of things that
Close
were
up,
already
kitty
known,
cat.
and Ramanujan later said that that actually made him really happy, because to see that some of his results were indeed already known verified them as being correct and true, because even he himself might have been a bit unsure of a few of them. In category 2, these are the ones that are new but not very important.
Oh, shoot,
And the
girl,
only
so
thing that makes it
lovely.
into category 3,
so
being
lovely,
new
kitty.
and important, is this expression about finding the number of primes less than a given x. He asked Ramanujan to send
solved
him
the
some
Riemann
proofs as
hypothesis,
quickly as
kitty.
possible, and acknowledges that he has done
Nobody
a good deal of
believes
work
you.
worth publication. He also includes at
solved
the
it.
end of his reply
Yes, you did.
some notes suggested by Littlewood.
10 weeks
After a bit
old.
more back and forth, Ramanujan is
And you're a
invited over
cat.
to England to join Hardy and Littlewood and work on publishing some of these results.
Riemann
Ramanujan unfortunately
hypothesis.
only lived a short life,
Unbelievable.
and so
What's
the
next?
things that were able to be
What's next
published
for you,
while he was
kitty?
alive
Fields
were
medal?
only a small portion of the work that he'd done.
Fields medal
But
candidate?
many years on, I believe that mathematicians can still find lots of gems written down
I believe
in
so.
Ramanujan's notebooks. Some of his results might seem at first like random mathematical facts, but many of them indeed give insight into unexpected and surprising relationships between patterns of numbers. I hope you have found it
love
interesting
you.
to
I
take
saw
a look at this
Riemann
letter, which
hypothesis.
reveals
That
a
was
genius
easy.
that Thank you for watching, and a special thank
was
you to
very
the
easy.
viewers who support me on Patreon. It is your support that makes
You
these
saw
videos possible to
twin
make
prime
at all.
conjecture, Kitty?
Also,
Yes, I
a
did.
special shout out to today's
did.
Patreon cat of the day, Stella.
How do you know that much mathematics, Kitty? Oh, did I teach you? Oh, that's very kind of you, Kitty.
A lot of you will be familiar with this strange identity here, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus ... equal to minus 1/12. Now,
Well, anyway, Ramanujan was one of the most gifted mathematicians. It's a bit urban legend, a lot of the stories about him, I think. But when you're that good, I guess. Yeah, she's very relaxed right now. Do women care about money? Yes, they do. I hate to tell you that. Yes. They definitely do. Trump might be arrested, man. He's got two charges, potentially. I hope he doesn't get arrested. I think it'd be disgusting, to be honest with you, but I think, do cats care about money? No, cats don't care about money. Not at all. Not at all, little baby. Well, they care about tuna, but they'll find their own tuna if they have to. Oh, my little love. She's closing her eyes. She's very happy. She's very happy. Why are you so happy, Kitty? Happy because you're getting chin rub? You ate all the tuna and all the treats. Yes. Good kitty. Good kitty. I had a FTC meeting and New York Attorney General meeting. It was lovely. Purr, purr, purr. Purr, purr, purr. She's very squishable. She's very squishable. Very squishable. Cloud nine. That's right. She's so beautiful. She hears a potential treat coming her way. That's right, John. You should get a couple of them right there, because she's a good kitty. That's right. Go ahead, kitty. Have at it. Have at it. Of course she sleeps with me at night. Of course. I don't know what's going to happen with the Fed. I don't really care about macro. Because it doesn't affect... It affects all stocks kind of equally. That's it, kitty. You get a treat and you're done. That's it. Or you're gonna sit in your comfy chair. You like that comfy chair? Oh, you're just bouncing. Or you want to hang out with me? Whatever you want, kitty. Oh no, you fell. Kitty's a little bit of a dummy. Okay, kitty. I love you. I love you. Okay, you fell again? Yeah, it's the government for you. You know how the government works. They try to help and they hurt in the process. Classic USG. The scariest words you could ever hear in your life. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. This workday's been just growing like clockwork, but sometimes with software companies, the accounting revenue growth is not always obvious. and the real revenue growth is a little different because of deferred revenue. What are you doing, kitty? Oh, are you trying to steal treats? Bad kitty. Bad kitty. You're trying to sneak into the treat jar. How dare you, kitty? No. No. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. I didn't even think you could be one of those kitties. Shyster kitty. Alright, let's finish this up. I think I already screwed up. Did I screw up my YouTube? I want to hear that Rage Against the Machine song so bad. I don't really care at this point. Rage Against the Machine. Rules on Parade. I remember when this song came out. This song was the fucking shit. And the video, I think, is pretty good too. That's right, kitty, get out of here. When it gets heavy, I'm liable to do anything. I didn't love the rap verses, but the way they melded a few different ideas is pretty cool. The guitarist is so talented. Tom Morello. What is a tensor?
Hi, I'm Dan Fleisch.
You guys should know this.
When people hear that the subject of my new student's guide is vectors and tensors, a reasonably high percentage of them have the same question. What's a tensor? My goal for this video is to take about 12 minutes to answer that question. Not using a bunch of mathematical equations, but instead some simple household objects, including children's blocks, small arrows, a couple of pieces of cardboard, and a pointed stick.
And a kitty.
I think the very best route to understanding tensors is to begin by making sure that you're solid on your understanding of vectors. If you've taken any college-level physics or engineering, you probably think of a vector as something like this. An arrow representing a quantity that has both magnitude and direction, wherein the length of the arrow is proportional to the magnitude of the quantity, and the orientation of the arrow tells you the direction of the quantity. This could represent the force of gravity on an object, or the strength and direction of the Earth's magnetic field, or the velocity of a particle in a flowing fluid. But vectors can represent other things as well, such as an area. How does a vector represent an area? It's pretty straightforward. You simply make the length of the vector proportional to the amount of the area, the number of square meters in the area. And then you make the direction of the arrow perpendicular to the surface. So, in that way, this can represent an area as well. So vectors can represent lots of things. But if you want to take this step beyond thinking of vectors as representing quantities with magnitude and direction, to understanding that vectors are members of a wider class of object called tensors, then you have to make sure you understand vector components and basis vectors. If you're even going to think about the components of a vector, you better get yourself one of these. This represents a coordinate system. In this case, I've picked the simplest one, an x-axis, a y-axis, and a z-axis, all meeting at right angles. This represents the Cartesian coordinate system. And the thing to remember about coordinate systems is they come along with coordinate basis vectors. You probably ran into these as unit vectors. And the thing to remember about these little guys is they have a length of 1. One what? One of whatever the units are that you're going to express the length of your vector in. And the direction of the basis vectors or unit vectors is in the direction of the coordinate axes. So this might represent the unit vector in the x direction. That's often called x with a little hat over it, or sometimes I hat. That's the x hat unit vector. It points in the direction of increasing x coordinate. Likewise, the y hat, sometimes called the j hat unit vector, points in the direction of increasing y. And the z hat, or k hat unit vector, points in the direction of increasing z. Once you have the coordinate system and the unit vectors in place, now you're in a position to find the components of your vector. But how exactly do you do that? I think it's easiest to understand how to find vector components if you begin with a vector in the xy plane. So I'm going to lay this vector in the xy plane at some angle to the x-axis. In order to find the x component, I'm going to project this vector onto the x-axis. In order to find the y component, I'm going to project this vector onto the y-axis. And how am I going to do those projections? Here's one way. I've darkened the room because I'm going to use this lamp to project the vector onto the x and y axes. First, I'm going to shine the light perpendicular to the x-axis, that is parallel to the y-axis, and look for the shadow of the vector on the x-axis. That would be the x component of this vector. As you can see, the shadow of the vector on the x-axis ends right here. This is the x component of this vector. If I make the vector have a greater angle to the x-axis, notice the shadow moves this way. The x component is getting smaller. And if I make the vector lay entirely along the x-axis, then the shadow and the vector are the same length. The x component is the length of the vector in that case. Now I've got my light shining perpendicular to the y-axis, that is parallel to the x-axis, and the shadow cast by the vector on the y-axis gives me the y component of the vector. Notice that as I increase the angle to the x-axis, I'm decreasing the angle to the y-axis, and the y component is getting bigger. Another way of visualizing vector components is to ask yourself, to get from the base of the vector to the tip of the vector, how far do I have to go in the x direction, and how far do I have to go in the y direction? In other words, how many x hat or I hat unit vectors, and how many y hat or j hat unit vectors would it take to get from the base to the tip of this vector? I can show you this if I get rid of these axes and just line up some x hat basis vectors. These are going to go in the x direction, obviously. And some y hat basis vectors. So in other words, this vector is made up of about 4 x hat and 3 y hat. That means that instead of drawing an arrow for this vector, you could simply say 4 of these plus 3 of these. If you want to be complete, since there's no z component to this vector, 0 of these. That is the same as this. In other words, this is a perfectly valid representation of that vector. And of course, if you know the basis vectors, you wouldn't even have to put these on, would you? You could simply use these components as your vector. You could write them in a little array. You could even stack them up. Put a nice set of parentheses around them. This looks just like the way you see column vectors written. Of course, these three components pertain only to the vector we had laying on the table a minute ago. To generalize this to vector capital A, for example, we can replace these components with a sub x, a sub y, and a sub z. Of course, a sub x is the component that pertains to the x hat basis vector. A sub y pertains to the y hat basis vector. A sub z pertains to the z hat basis vector. Notice that we need one index for each of these because there's only one directional indicator, that is one basis vector, per component. This is what makes vectors tensors of rank 1. One index, one basis vector per component. By the same token, scalars can be considered to be tensors of rank 0 because scalars have no directional indicators, therefore need no indices. Those are tensors of rank 0. I'll say in a minute why it's so powerful to represent tensors as this combination of components and basis vectors. But first, I want to show you some examples of higher rank tensors. This is a representation of a rank 2 tensor in three-dimensional space. Notice that instead of having 3 components and 3 basis vectors, we now have 9 components and 9 sets of 2 basis vectors. Notice also that the components no longer have a single index, they have 2 indices. Why might you need such a representation? Consider, for example, the forces inside a solid object. Inside that object, you can imagine surfaces whose area vectors point in the x, or in the y, or in the z direction. And on each of those types of surface, there might be a force that has a component in the x, or in the y, or in the z direction. So to fully characterize all the possible forces on all the possible surfaces, you need 9 components, each with 2 indices referring to 2 basis vectors. So for example, a sub xx might refer to the x-directed force on a surface whose area vector is in the x direction. A sub yx might refer to the x-directed force on a surface whose area vector is in the y direction, and so forth. This combination of 9 components and 9 sets of 2 basis vectors makes this a rank 2 tensor. This is a representation of a rank 3 tensor in three-dimensional space. 27 components, each pertaining to one of 27 sets of 3 basis vectors. I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see the components better. Notice that now each component has 3 indices. A sub xxx pertains to 3 x basis vectors. A sub xyx pertains to 2x and 1 y basis vector, and so forth. This entire front slab has x as the third index and pertains to these 9 sets of basis vectors. The middle slab all has y as the third index and pertains to these 9, and the back slab all has z as the third index and pertains to those 9. So in three-dimensional space, 27 components, 27 sets of 3 basis vectors, and 3 indices on each component. You may be wondering, what is it about the combination of components and basis vectors that makes tensors so powerful? The answer is this. All observers in all reference frames agree, not on the basis vectors, not on the components, but on the combination of components and basis vectors. The reason for that is that the basis vectors transform one way between reference frames, and the components transform in just such a way so as to keep the combination of components and basis vectors the same for all observers. It was this characteristic of tensors that caused Lillian Lieber to call tensors the facts of the universe. Thanks very much for your time.
Cool, that was a pretty good video actually. If you didn't catch it all, or you just want to watch it again, I recommend you do that. Workday is a SaaS company. It's worth $50 billion. They generated $6 billion trailing 12 months. It's actually kind of a cheap stock because their operating cash flow was around 1.7 billion. It's around 27 times earnings, but they're growing very rapidly. They have half of the Fortune 500 and 25% of the Global 2000. I think they'll probably continue to grow there. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this company or their software. Technology has caused massive deflation on a unit basis, but coordinate systems of large n-dimensional matrices are the same things, coordinate systems, right? Anyway, yeah, this kind of looks like a cheap stock. But the devil's always in the details, isn't it? Shorting banks, I don't know. I don't know if that trade is played out or it's going to continue. Seems like it could be played out, I don't know. Alright guys, it's almost midnight. That's my bedtime. I'll be around tomorrow. Like, this is the key. Deferred revenue is like the most important thing in software. Enterprise software, at least. I don't have the year ago. Oh, actually I do. Let's get that number. Mm, 14%. Still a lot of growth, to be honest. Okay. Workday looks like it could be long, you know. Triple. I'd have to spend some more time on it, but this looked a little bit appetizing. Very high growth, very reasonable. They used to call GARP, growth at a reasonable price. But I have to think more about, like, you know, where do they stand vis-a-vis like an SAP or an Oracle, if like they can really keep penetrating that large enterprise customer. Well, we'll figure that out some other day. Great. Have a great night, everyone. Good night to Nibbles, of course, too. Thank you for that. We will see you all tomorrow.